I'm Lori, a librarian from the Newton Free Library. Welcome to our latest Get Crafty video. Today we are making monster mosaic puppets. Here are 3 examples of puppets that I've made in advance. And here is the one we're going to make together. For this craft, you will need the following items: paper bags, wrapping paper, glue, and scissors. Now let's get started. Mosaics are typically patterns or pictures made with small pieces of colored stone or glass. We are going to make our mosaic out of paper, and it's going to form the body of our monster puppet. The first thing that I did was pick out what wrapping paper I wanted to use. I chose these 3 patterns. Now you can see that these are 3 really big tubes of wrapping paper, but you don't need that much wrapping paper. You just need about the size of a normal piece of paper, or 2 or 3 smaller sections of paper, depending on what different colors you want to use. You could even use a mixture of construction paper and wrapping paper. It's up to you. But for this one, I'm just using the one type of wrapping paper. Now, again, because it was on a roll, you're going to want to try and flatten it out a bit to make it easier to cut. In this puppet, we're using squares to form our mosaic as the only shape. So to make the squares, you're simply going to cut a strip off of paper, and then it's really easy to make your square or rectangle shapes. You're just going to cut and snip off very easily. It doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the same size or anything. So before I start gluing, first I'm going to take my paper bag, a new paper bag. I like to lay out my pattern all on the same, on another separate sheet of paper. In this case, it's cardboard. And I'm going to lay out the pattern so it's easier to glue. Okay, so first, the beauty of using the wrapping paper is that all you have to do is turn it over, and you've got the plain or white side of the paper. So I'm going to actually start with white. I'm going to put some glue down. And I'm going to put together my first row of the mosaic. In a minute, I'm going to skip ahead until we're almost done with the body. And then I will show you how I cut out the shapes for the face. So this is just my first row of the mosaic. I'm alternating in a simple pattern, which will then, once I start below it, become a checkerboard pattern. Okay, so now I've almost finished my mosaic for the body, and I'm just going to glue this last row down before I start on the face of my monster puppet. And again, we're just alternating the pattern of the white and the leaves. Okay, so the first thing that I did was to create my monster mouth. I cut out a big oval, and then I just zigzagged for the teeth, and I made these 2 shapes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the bottom part of my monster's mouth. then I'm going to glue down the top part. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then for the eyes, for the big part, I drew a big circle. And for the pupil, I cut out a little tiny white circle. And then I just repeat on the other side. This kind of looks like a frog monster puppet. Okay, so then the last part are these cool eyebrows that are just triangles. I put that on that side and glue this one down on this side. Now it's a good idea to let each part dry before starting the next part. So let the body dry, cut out the shapes for the face, and then let the face dry before you start performing any puppet show. So just to look at some of the other puppets we've made, we have this one where we used heart shapes and ovals and diamonds. And this one where we used triangles to make our mosaic, but they already had a little bit of stripes they had stripes in the pattern. So now all that's left for you to do, once your puppet is nice and dry, is to have fun.